right? So it's not that she can't say no, it's the way you say no. Imagine like your boss says, "Can you do this?" You're like, "No." You know what? Like it can come off a little bit rude, right? So she needs to find a much more pleasant way of saying, because it felt like almost like it's a shutdown. Do you know what I mean? Like rather, it's more of a case of language wise, we can say, okay, let's say like language wise, we might say, uh, you know what? He said about, oh, I want to go to a cabin. It's not really my preference, you know what I mean? But I haven't tried it before, so I mean, maybe I can try it once, whatever. Like because now all that tells me is, okay, nope, 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 nope. Very hard boundaries. I'm gonna leave you where you are because you are clearly not gonna be flexible. You're not willing to be open to the experience, so I'm gonna have to leave you where you are. And sometimes that little bit of flexibility can help. I'm not saying that she is a red flag in general. It's a red flag for the person who's sitting in front of you because like you're never gonna want to do or move or shift. If you say you're definitely not doing it, you definitely ain't doing it. You're not about it. Do you know what I mean? We're not gonna able to do things that I enjoy. And that's fine. It just means I don't have to roll with you in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's the key aspect of that situation. Do you know what I mean? You go for it, JR, if you wanna jump in quick before I get ladies on.
Yeah, I was also going to say, like, the other thing is he's got a daughter, right? And when they were sitting down talking there, she said something along the lines of enjoy life without having to worry about having kids or something like that. She said something like that, and you could see the way he reacted. He was like, "Oh no, like that's it then." You know, she's not really going to get on with him, but that doesn't mean she might not be cool for somebody else. But with him, like those are two very big things. First of all, what he likes doing as a pastime, which is why they were probably talking about it. He wanted to find out if that was her thing as well. And then the other thing, he's got a child, he's got a daughter. So her attitude to both kind of probably said to him, no, she's not the one for me.
With nobody with kids.
Should I leave now?
Don't complicate your life if you don't have to, is what I'm saying.
That's the clip you were talking about. Seaway, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to have you on board. Good to hear from you once again. We're talking about Marcia and Bleu. Well, you know, how did you feel about that situation?
I felt like Marcia was giving off some of those vibes that like those girls that are super cute but don't like to do anything, you know, not very fun, not, you know, not the friend, you know, you don't want to be in the friend zone, but you want to be able to kind of, you know, give off the appearance that you're willing to do things and have fun and vibe. Now, if that's not who you are, then don't lie. So if she really ain't gonna camp, I'm glad she was honest about it. But it seems like Blue's like one of those people who like to go out and have fun and enjoy the outdoors and go to a cabin. He tried to give her a middle ground, like, hey, we don't need to have a tent and be outside with the bears, but like, do you want to come and do X, Y, or Z? And I understand that, because if I was dating a dude and he's like, I refuse to try skiing, or I refuse to do this or that, or or I don't want to try, you know, going on a boat or whatever, that probably would be a turnoff for me, because I like to try new experiences and things like that. And I think there's a lot of dudes that want to have that type of relationship with their girl. And like you said, Kojo, what I did hear of it, she kind of like gave it a blank no and didn't leave anything open or anything that he can kind of work with. So it kind of closed the doors the way she was answering those questions. As it relates to the kids, for me, I'm glad that she was direct about that particular situation, because if you do not want to, as she said, complicate your life and enter into a situation when you don't have kids and the other person has kids, I'm glad that she was more straightforward with that, because I think a lot of times they get on this show, people keep pretending on both sides that they're like okay with this blended family thing, knowing good and well they're actually not. Like Mark Anthony, I don't believe he's really okay with it, but he's saying that. So if she's not into that and she feels like it's going to complicate her life, then she should, you know, say that. But that will close the door for a lot of the men on the show. So it's kind of like, are you just going on the dates to eat good food and vibe? Because if you're telling somebody who has kids to their face, I don't want to deal with you and your kids, then it's kind of like, I guess you're just here for the meal and the vibe. You know, because she's eating good. Every time I see her, she's eating good. She's enjoying the meals. And I ain't mad at her, but I'm not sure where we're going here. Like, where are we going? Because a lot of these dudes have kids. And if you don't want that, you better circle in on the few that don't, you know? So that's what I think.
Love that. Thank you very much, Siwe. Sam, welcome to the conversation. Good to have you on board. We talking Bleu and Marci. What's your thoughts?
Hi everyone. Hi, Quidget. The first thing that I thought when I watched this scene was, she talks a lot. That's the first thing that came to my mind. It came with like, I don't like this, I like that, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. And he was just taking it all in, right? So I felt that when she did that, I don't see how a man would like that, right? Because you don't give the time to vibe with the guy, to have a good conversation. It was like you have a questionnaire and you just like, you know, and she was just giving information like that for free, right? So when it's like that, you don't give the time to the person to really digest the information. So because you're giving all this information for free, well, as he's taking the information, he's going to make a decision quickly on if he wants to move in with you, because now that not moving with you, if he wants to move forward with you, because you set it up like, this is what I propose, make your choice. And I thought that it made her look not really good, but at the same time, I respected the fact that she was being honest. But on another side, I'm like, if that's what you believe that you want, if you don't want to be with somebody that has a child, I think you should like eliminate whoever you know has children, right? Or like maybe whoever has like grown children, so that you don't talk to them. Because now I feel like you're wasting your time if you're going to go ahead and say that you don't want to be with somebody that have children, or you don't want children, but he has some. So then what are you doing, right? So that's my opinion on that.
Appreciate it, Sam. Appreciate it. Jay, what's your thoughts to this situation?
I commend her, first of all, for her honesty. Love it. You know, I'm not mad at it. You set your boundaries, and that's what it is. I don't want to waste my time and energy with somebody with kids. You got to tell them straightforward. I'm not going to play no games with you. I'm not going to pretend that I'm going to be a stepmommy, a bonus mommy, or anything else, when I just want to be free, travel, and move around the way I want to move around, and I want somebody to do it with me. I give her her credit for that, and standing her ground in it, especially in this type of environment where you have to somewhat play the game. I look at it too on another note as, she's probably like, my person is really not here. And I'm just going to start being straight up with you guys. Now, it kind of depends on how she starts to act at the end, when they put her at the bottom and is like, oh my God, am I really going home? I don't really want to go, this, that, and the third. I'll be like, okay, sis, either one way or other, you're really playing. Either it's like, hurry up and send me home because he's not here, or stop shooting yourself in the foot with too much truth. Because sometimes when we get into truth telling, we tell too much. We talk too much, and we need to know our limits on it, because sometimes we throw away good people because we want certain things in life. We have certain standards and all these things. And so she could be shooting herself in the foot, but I'm gonna rock with that. She just was really not interested in too much wasting anybody's time there, because she don't really see them going further in a real relationship. And she's just like, I'm gonna say what I really want, and half of y'all not fitting what I really want. So send me home if you send me home.
That's what it sounds like. So take me or break me, because baby, I'm gonna eat these oysters, I'm gonna go home. That's what it is. Yeah, I hear that. Sophie G, welcome to the panel.
Hello.
How you doing? You okay?
Yes.
Good, good, good. What's your thoughts around Bleu and Marci and their particular interactions?
So I feel like Marcia might be there for more for exposure than really ready to love. I mean, what I've noticed so far is that she goes only but so far. She doesn't get too deep. She's very playful. She's very attractive. She kind of plays on that. It's almost like she's, putting herself on display. I feel like she enjoys being a bachelorette. Like she enjoys being single right now. And even when she was engaged with the young man, London from Jamaica, and, she said she found him very attractive, but she didn't say anything about his character, or it was always just a little bit below the surface. So one, I don't believe she's genuine so far from what I've seen, meaning she might not be ready for love, but ready for a bit of exposure. And as far as for Bleu, I think he's being safe and he's observing. I don't think he's found his person just yet on the show. I think he's like some of the other characters, the other people, where they haven't found one person, they're still looking. So it was like two people that are on the surface level having a conversation is what I noticed at this last engagement.
Isha, thank you, Sophie G. Just a quick question to the panelists as well. Like, do you feel like Bleu, because it's been 4 episodes now, we haven't seen much of Bleu. Is Bleu just kind of just giving us surface energy at the moment? Because we barely have actually seen him. I'm sure it might be more the editing or anything, but I mean, we barely have seen him. We barely heard him speak. We barely heard much of what his opinion is. Like, this is one of the few dates we've seen him on, and we're 4 episodes in. I don't know much about Bleu, if I'm honest with you, on this season, which is weird. So I wanted to kind of get some, maybe one or two more thoughts on this and see if anyone wanted to answer this on Bleu. Anybody want to jump in? Anyone feeling froggy? Go for it, Jay.
I say from what everybody else has basically been saying of Bleu, from what I've heard from the different casts, he's pretty laid back. So he's not giving TV much. That's probably why editing is not picking up much on him. It's just more so, he's in the cut. He's chill. He gets a little bit, not too deep. I haven't seen him get too deep in any of the conversations that we really had. But then I also could be because nobody asked him a deep question. So not really sure, other than that I can tell that he's just a laid back personality. And maybe if you ask him deep questions, he looked like a type of person that will go in if you really ask him the type of questions, but we'll see.
One more person to answer that question on Bleu, whether they feel like Bleu is more surface than anything. Jay, are you going for it? Go for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think, we haven't seen Bleu involved in any real, in fact, we haven't seen him involved in any drama or anything that's probably to the producers liking, like entertainment wise. So he's been quiet. Also, is he named Anthony, the guy with the beard, the dark skinned guy? Yeah, like he's hardly featured as well. We haven't seen him or Bleu really. We've seen less of Anthony than we have of Bleu. But I think this episode we got to know a bit more about Bleu than what we knew previously. Like, again, with his hobby of hunting and fishing and all that stuff. And then, he may have mentioned it before that he's got a child as well. But he hasn't also connected with anyone to the point where he's probably needed camera time. He doesn't really have a solid connection yet, as you said. So I can see why some people think he may be coasting through. I think we have to look at it like, even though they're on a show and they're matched up against singles, you're going to gravitate towards people who you have a connection with. And if there is no connection, you're going to see people just drifting around trying to search for someone. And I don't think it's to keep him on the show, because